Welcome back to the 5th episode of the Third Bro Podcast. Today we have Angela Gillis, and y'all are in for a treat. This is one of our old running buddies that we are really good friends with as well. So it's been a while since we talked to her, and we get to catch up with her today. So we're going to talk a little bit about everything. There's some influencer marketing. There's some talk about how we met during our races. Just a little hodgepodge, a little bit of everything. All for your listening pleasure. And don't forget to sign up for our race, the Port Nations Labor Day 5K. Enjoy.
Hey guys, this is Willie of Three Bros Running Company. Welcome to the Third Bro Podcast. And we have a special guest today here, Angela Gillis, a big friend of ours. She's had a lot of media attention. She had a popular podcast. And a lot of things that we want to talk to her about. So we're excited to have her here today.
Awesome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad that Angela's here. She's one of our good friends. I actually done a race with her. We ran a 50K a long time ago together.
One of the best moments of my life, man.
Did you really?
Yeah, I talk about it all the time.
It was the habanero. It was the first habanero 100,
Yeah.
which I think is actually the hardest habanero 100.
Now I feel like it's a little bit easier, you know, because don't they do it at the ranch?
7 Mile Ranch. Have you gone back to do it? Mm-mm. Yeah. I feel like the one that we did was the hottest year and a tougher course.
Yeah.
And it was pretty. Although there was some shade, there wasn't that much.
Mm-mm.
So.
The nighttime was bad though.
Nighttime was bad.
Yeah.
So Angela and I, we did the race, and the first it was like a 5 mile on back, right? Which I got ahead of Angela, but after that I was dying. So Rob told me to stop for an hour, and I thought about quitting too. And then Angela's like, just run it with me.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm walking. I'm gonna walk if I have to. It was too hot.
Yeah.
It was way too hot. And then you did like the
100K.
Yeah.
I think that race had like a lot of DNFs. That was like a major DNF race.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, there's
all
only
distances.
one female finisher for the.
100 mile.
One finisher, really, not female or male. There was only one finisher for the 100 miler.
Oh.
And it was a lady, and she toughed it out.
But across all distances, they had like high DNF rates, right?
Yeah.
You know, so it's no shame if you did have to DNF because like that was like brutal conditions. Like, did you guys have to get weighed after each loop? Oh, yeah.
No.
They would weigh you after each loop to see if you have like lost too much like water loss, and if you did, then they would make you stop. So I remember I didn't want to get stopped because I need to keep moving with the 100K. I would like not pee to add like liquid so they wouldn't stop me. But that's what they would do.
So Angela, we got kind of get ahead of ourselves. Can you tell everybody about you? Like, how do you introduce yourself to somebody when you tell someone about yourself? Like say you're at a social influencer event. So I say that.
She's
and
my
then
elevator pitch.
There you go, elevator pitch.
My
Exactly.
elevator pitch. I'm Angela. I lost 200 pounds, fell in love with running. Now I'm trying to live the healthiest life I possibly can. And now I'm a mom. So
Yeah.
that's my elevator pitch.
She says it. She has a YouTube channel too.
Yeah.
And she. So what all are you on?
Really, the only thing, I have a blog that is an income source for me. But then I'm also on YouTube. I love YouTube, but I don't have enough time to sit down and do it. But that's where like my heart is. I want to do YouTube all the time. And everywhere else, you're not gonna find me. I will ghost. and
TikTok? Are
post.
you on TikTok?
No.
You're not on TikTok.
Like I want to be,
Yeah.
but I don't know. Like everybody's like, oh, you do video. And I was like, but I don't like short form video. So I'll get there eventually.
What I've been doing with my TikTok account is taking my long format stuff from YouTube and cutting it and putting part 1, part 2, part 3. So it's more TikTok friendly, which I find I'm not having any success in TikTok whatsoever. But you know, I'm trying.
That's more editing.
For editing, y'all don't know, but editing takes forever.
Yeah,
and
it takes forever.
Takes forever.
So what did you start with like the blogs or what made you kind of got started into like?
You know, back in the day, like, I remember being a freshman in college, and that's when blogger.com opened up, and they only had like 5 blogs on there, so then I bought one. And so, like, I had been trying to do it for a long time, but then when we lost the weight and everything, and everybody was asking all those questions, I was like, okay, I'm just going to do the website. And then that kind of took off, and I was very consistent with it. But then life gets in the way, you know, like, so I post like once or twice a week, hopefully. Maybe not.
That's pretty good though on your blog.
Yeah.
On your blog. So is blogging still a big thing now?
Blogging
nowadays?
is making a resurgence now because of the whole like TikTok might go away or Instagram is changing the algorithm or whatever, and so now everybody wants to have that space on the web where you own your content.
So what do you mean by that? Do you have like your own? You go to a blog site, or do you have your own website that you kind of direct people to, or?
I just have my own site and I host it on my own server.
Yeah.
So like I own everything.
Angela hosted the GTS thing, and now it's it got taken over by a Chinese company.
Oh really?
Who does buses? It was. I don't know about now, but.
So what happens when? Because you're probably more familiar with that. I remember like Angela, you helped us like have our own first website. We didn't have one, and you helped us host it. Like, what happens when someone else like purchases that domain? Is it?
That's why you have to keep on holding on to it, because now they probably bought it for what, $5, and then now it's probably worth like $10,000.
Oh really? So
like I looked at like my domain name, and if someone tried to buy it, like I'm still paying for domain names that like We Beat Fat. I don't even use that anymore, but like I still hold on to it because it's worth like $15,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So do people like approach you with these like?
Oh yeah, that's why you have to get like secure your domain and everything, because people will steal them from you.
Oh really?
Especially now because you're running out of space.
Oh yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Do you think like, let's say like what about .org? Do you think .com is more important than anything else?
I don't think it matters.
It doesn't matter?
I don't think it matters anymore.
Okay. So as long as you have that domain, regardless of .org, .com, it's still.
But of course, the .coms are going to be more expensive, you know. But.
So did the blog start before the We Be Fat when you guys had that?
That started like after we started getting all the media stuff.
The blog did.
Yeah. So then.
How'd you come up with that name?
Because that's just something that we always said around the house. That's just, you know, we just be like, We Beat Fat, you know. So, and that just became our thing.
So did you have merchandise and everything else, or was your main income from that, the blogging area, the social media? Was that affiliate links or
affiliate links? I had back in the day partnerships before partnerships were even a thing. You know, we were talking about the brand deals and all that.
I think we talked about it on the Habanero 100 thing.
So like it's just things are the same but different now. But I feel like it was a lot more. Yes, there are people making money now, but I feel like back in the day it was easier to make money. Now it's just so saturated.
Saturated. Do you think? What do you think about like the TikTok influencers? You think it's easier to become bigger now? Or?
Yeah, I definitely, because people are constantly craving the content, and so they're looking for it. But look, I have a definite opinion about popping off. Like you have to be pretty. I hate to say that. You have to be white, you know, and you know, and you're gonna go viral. You know, I don't know. I look at it this way. Like I've been doing my YouTube channel for a long time. You know, I may not have been doing it consistently, but I still have videos going up there. I was on TV. I was in magazines. I was in all the stuff, and then it still never blew up. But if that would have been someone else.
Me too. I've been on there for a long time. I mean, my channel's not huge. Only 6,000. That's small.
Exactly.
Nowadays. And then I tell Willie, I either have to be super fat and fit. I mean, super fast and fit, or gain a lot of weight and still run. So it's like kind of the extremes that people want.
Exactly.
That's what they want to follow. They like that story. If you're just like a normal fat dude like me, normal chubby dude, it's not that interesting.
And it's disheartening because like your heart and soul is in it. Like you are a real one, but you don't get taken as seriously as everyone else. It's hard. It's hard.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Kind of like realizing that. You know?
It's. I mean, it's frustrating. It's the same thing. I know you did your whole video on your brand deals and ambassadorships and all. I mean, it's the same stuff there. I mean, as a black woman, it's been hard to see other people like pop off and do, and I'm like, but I'm a real one, you know, and it's very discouraging.
I actually mentioned a brand because I see them. I do reviews, and they were giving all these other people review stuff. And I was like, why aren't you giving me any of it? I'm a Asian. I'm a larger than your average runner, and I'm not represented, and I don't feel it. You're just representing the faster runners, or faster.
Exactly.
You know, so I got angry at them. So I said, you need to like back up what you say, because they're all about inclusivity right now, but they're not giving us the voice.
I mean, I don't want to call out anybody, but look at Hoka, okay? Look, Hoka has blown up now because they went to New York City influencers. I know for a fact because I watch all of them on YouTube, okay? They had like an event, and so now you can't buy any running shoes because all the little socialite girls are running around because that's the cool thing to have. Nobody was buying Hokas before.
Yeah.
And personally, I wear Hokas, and it's hard to find them.
Oh wow.
So because the little girls are wearing them on TikTok and matching it with their outfits and their dresses, and I'm like, why didn't y'all approach runners like that?
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty disheartening. I think, I don't know, you've heard like our phrase, like, anyone could be a third bro, regardless of your age, sex, race, or pace. And when we mean pace, it's like we want people of all different levels. And I've noticed that with like, and it kind of frustrates me when I see like other race events they do, they'll use that basic template where it's just going to be like the top of the line runners, like in the front, and they're like predominantly white and athletic. And I'm like, that's not what all runners look like. So if you look at any of the media we try to put out there, we try to be very thoughtful about like what kind of stuff. I want to have like different people, shapes, colors, ages to be out there because like, it's important to me. I want to see people that look like me and feel like, hey, I can participate in this race. I don't necessarily have to be an Olympic athlete, but I like running too.
Exactly. I mean, and look, I look at it this way. Not that I was ever like a fast runner, but I was like always in the middle of the pack runner. Now I'm a back of the pack runner. Okay, like I may be the last person to come across the finish line, but then like people will talk to me and they're like, "Well, don't you feel bad?" And I'm like, "No. If I have to walk, then I walk." I mean, there will be times when I can go run every single mile of a race. There are times I've walked a whole race with you running next to me, and I've been walking, keeping up with you.
Yeah, that's true. Because like Angela did mention one of her favorite experiences with Jerry, but I did a whole race with her. I think it was a half marathon.
Yeah,
Woodlands.
The Woodlands.
The Woodlands.
Yeah, and he was like, "Are you going to walk the entire time?" I was like, "Yes," and he was running or jogging, and I was just walking right next to him.
So your pace was as fast as his running.
But like that doesn't make me any less than. My body just won't now allow me to run consistently like that, and anytime to get across the finish line is all that matters to me. And so like now when I talk to people about running, I'm like, hey, you don't just have to run. You don't just have to walk. You can just get across the finish line. And the whole like running community kind of like doesn't recognize that. Like they single people out. And I don't want people to feel like that because I love running. And I want everyone to feel like that they can do it. Yeah. And so like I like how y'all are like, I want to be all inclusive and show like different people of different things because people need to see that.
Yeah, definitely. Like I mean, we weren't all like fast. Like I remember even when my marathons we probably me and you were probably getting a certain kind of pace.
Yeah, we were all like
we were all a good pace, right?
Maybe, how long ago? Maybe 8-9 years ago.
You probably encouraged me to keep doing more marathons because like you were close to 50, right?
Yeah.
But what number are you at right now?
49.
Oh, I'm at 49 too.
We all should do your next race together.
And I'm like struggling to get that 50th. So let's do a race. That'd be kind of cool.
I don't know. I'm not in a marathon mindset, man.
Yeah, me too. I'm not doing a marathon anytime soon.
I need to have like an 8-hour time.
Yeah, I'll do 8 hours. I know Katie Pitt has like a pretty...
Do Hawaii. That's the one with no time limit.
It's like, unless we get sponsors.
Hey, we can work on that.
There. Let's do Hawaii. If we get... That would be amazing because like I didn't know you're 49. I'm at 49 too, and I'm like, what races do I want to do? Because the marathons are hard, especially when you get older.
Because when Angela started running, she went hard. Yeah. Like, how many races did you do your first year? How many marathons? You did a lot.
I have no idea.
You did a lot.
But like, I was running, traveling all the time. Like I would come home on a Monday and then I'd leave again on Thursday, and like it was a fun period in life.
Yeah. And I think you're the same thing like me. Mm-hmm. To me, it's less about like the pace. It's just like finishing because that's an accomplishment in itself. Marathons are tough.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, I need to be motivated, and but every race isn't going to be your best one. Yeah. So like, I don't really care about that. It is about crossing the finish line. And I like the connections that I made with people along the way. Like, especially like when I was traveling, I have friends all over the country now because we were like doing the same thing and going to the same places. And, now those are like some of my really good friends.
Oh, that's good.
So, I mean, and when you're at the back, you get to talk to more people.
It's more chill. I don't think... There's not many people who are like I would not think because I've never been in the front, but they're not talking to each other that much. I mean that's great for them, but for me I think I call myself a racer, but just to finish the race. I'm not to have a certain time. I just want to experience the race and then cross the finish line. That's what it's all about.
Pay for it, so might as well enjoy it.
Yeah, I love that part where you run into another runner and you just kind of hear their stories and you just kind of like run like a couple miles together and just like
Exactly.
help motivate to push each other. Like sometimes you ever get to the point where like you're running with someone else and they're like you're like just leave me, it's okay, I'll just
Well,
go
I'm like,
slow
no,
down.
I'm talking to you. No, I'm talking to you. It's all right.
I'm sure Jeremy probably said that to you at one point during your habaneros. Like leave me, Angela.
No, we would never.
We made a pact.
No,
We're staying together.
Never. I would have not finished that race.
Oh really?
How long did it even take us? I think it would be considered fast if we did it like now. We were
We
faded
got
back
roasted
then.
on the internet for that though.
Did we?
Yeah,
Did some
because
people?
we were slow.
Walking, yeah.
We were slow.
Oh man.
Yeah, there's a lot. How do you deal with haters on the internet? I get a lot. I get a lot myself on YouTube.
Okay, well,
You probably have a lot more because you're bigger. You've been everywhere.
It was hard for me, like when we were on TV, and then like people would send me like the Facebook post, and they'd be like, "Oh, he looks like amazing, and she looks like she could beat up her husband." And like,
What?
yeah, people would say like these mean things, and then they'd be coming from women too, and I was like, so like that's why I post and ghost. Like I don't read the comments or anything like, and that's just like very protective of me.
Yeah.
And I mean, so far now, I don't really get hateful things. People will slide into my DMs and say like weird stuff to me every once in a while.
Me
I'm
too.
What do you mean like weird stuff?
Like, so I would have gone and run a race, and they'll be like, "But you walked the entire time."
Yeah, that's harsh.
Or I saw you and you were spending too much time talking to your camera, and I'm like, I'm making a vlog.
Yeah,
you know,
that's part of it.
You know.
Yeah,
or,
you're watching my vlog. Yeah.
yeah, or like now I read books, and people are like, "Oh, you read this trashy romance stuff," and I'm like, I'm reading what I want.
Yeah.
Like, but people will comment
Wow.
on like the other
So
day.
judgy,
I posted a picture of Willie doing the dishes because like he likes to do that, and Willie's like, "You're gonna get roasted for that."
Okay.
And then people, women would start, "Well, my husband,
Never does the dishes.
yeah, exactly. Why don't you do the dishes or whatever?" And I'm like, man, y'all should come up in my house. I don't do the laundry. I don't do dishes. I don't do any of that. So, like, I just don't want to.
Yeah.
But, everyone wants to insert their opinion into everything. And
Yeah.
I just don't. Or the big thing is I've gained weight. Yes, I've had a baby since then. Like I'm older. These are things that we can't control. And then people will just be very snarky about that. They'll be like, "Well, you really haven't lost that much weight." And I was like, I think I'm doing pretty damn good from weighing 350 pounds, and I'm not 350 pounds now.
Yeah. No,
not
I
anywhere
think
close
you look
to
amazing. You look amazing. Like I
Thank
remember
you.
when I first we met you and Willie, and we were like, oh, we didn't know about like your We Beat Fat kind of thing. We're just like, oh, these are new runners. And then I think Jeremy was the one who showed me like before pictures. And I was like, what? You guys look like totally different people. So, and I know it's tough.
That was still
go from
before
there,
you guys went
Yeah.
crazy, right? Yeah.
But like now I look back on that and I'm like, man, we look sick. And in fact, Willie was actually sick,
Yeah,
like he got sick from losing all of that weight.
yeah, it was dramatic.
Yeah.
Weight loss, right?
So like we look sick. Now I feel like I'm at my healthiest.
Okay.
I may not run as fast as what but I feel like I'm a stronger runner.
Okay.
So, like people just kind of need to stay out of the business.
Yeah.
Like everybody's journey is different. But like the fact that I'm even here now and I'm still talking to y'all about this says a lot. That year that we decided to lose weight obviously changed my life. Like I was told my entire life that I would never be able to have kids.
Yeah.
I lost weight magically. I was able to have kids. So like those are just like things that come and go and whatever. I'm happy to be where I am now, and everybody should like embrace who they are through any change. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that kind of like mentality because like we were like me one time we and Jim were like doing like we were pretty close in the speed at one point.
Yeah.
And we're doing like crazy amount of races, but things change. We can't get to that same kind of like competitiveness, but we still enjoy the beauty of like running, or it's just fun. It's about just like when you do something you shouldn't think of it as like work, or it just should be fun.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
I like the community of it. The community of it. Like meeting. I made friends with Angela, Willie, everybody
The
else
running
too.
group, I
The
mean,
running group, yeah.
I missed the running group actually. But,
Come on, come back.
Yeah,
Come back.
I'll
The
You did
schedule
have-
is too hard
Yeah,
for
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah.
It's just
When you have a kid, Your
was,
schedule is their schedule, right?
Yeah, it was easier when she like couldn't do anything, like when she couldn't walk or talk or had no opinion about anything, and that's why.
Now she's a character. I've seen her on your videos.
She's a lot.
She loves the camera too, right?
Oh, she's a lot, and she wants to run races, but she doesn't want to train for them. But she likes the attention of the races. So like that makes me excited because like she'll go out there and do them.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to tell her, you have to go out and run a little bit more. And then she's always like, I'm gonna beat my dad. I'm gonna beat him. And then like she'll come in like 2 seconds before I won. I was like, if that's what's gonna get you out there, then it is what it is. But like I was saying, like I want to run another marathon. I just can't devote that time to doing it because then that's going to take away from her, or like she's just too aware of it. And like I already took off work on Fridays so that I could go long run. Like that's ridiculous. That I was like, no, I cannot work on Fridays because that's the only day that I can. And I don't know. It could be below freezing or 102 degrees.
Yeah, you run at crazy times too.
I'm still going to have
weather.
to go out and do it because that's the only amount of time.
Yeah.
But committing to run a marathon like that, I don't know.
Back in the day, we could go out there and run a marathon, no problem, right?
Yeah.
Now, if I do it, it's gonna, like I'll either like DNF or not finish, or come in super last.
I won't be able to walk for 2 weeks after.
Like, or it's just miserable the whole time. That's when the last marathon I did, I was like, I'm never doing another marathon unless I'm trained for it because it's too much. It's too tough.
But then to get to that point, to be trained for it.
Yeah.
And then I'm also almost afraid to like get to that point because then once I'm already trained up, I'm gonna be like, well, I need to stay here, and then I'm gonna just like keep doing it. And I was like, I can't, but we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it.
We're gonna do it.
I even DNF'd a race because like I thought that I knew how to run a marathon, and I didn't like probably run for like maybe like a whole year at all. And I was like, I still got it. No, I DNF'd, and it felt crappy. So you have to really respect the distance. Like it's
I've
not
never
easy
DNF'd a race.
That's good.
Yeah, that's good.
That's good.
I DNF'd my 100K and then a marathon one time. The Gusher. I didn't want to do the second loop. The 2 loops I was like, I don't want to do it again.
But it's cool. We're both stuck on 49. I think.
I don't even know what number I'm on. I'm probably in the 40s, maybe.
Do you keep track of your half marathons? Yeah, the marathons, I know.
That's
right?
because I used to run half marathons just for like training runs, like because it was just safer for me to go out and do that. So like, I can't tell you.
And we were all on the Team Chocolate Milk.
Yeah, we were
back
on
in the
Team
day.
Chocolate Milk. That was a great
Back in the
experience.
day.
Gave us an opportunity to like run a lot of races that we probably wouldn't have run.
Yeah.
We weren't on there.
And then they just ended it. Like they didn't even tell us.
Yeah. They just like dropped us. They just slowly faded away, right?
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, Team Chocolate Milk was a thing we were in where we represented the Chocolate Milk team, and we got free races, free VIP.
Yeah.
Those were nice. Yeah. Now I can't do a rock and roll race because I don't have free VIP.
Exactly.
We got spoiled.
Yeah, we get spoiled because like the VIP, you get like special like food, you get like a VIP like packet pickup. Everything is just much nicer. So imagine you go to a rock and roll race and you're like, oh, I was like there, now I just disappear the same.
We're spoiled. Yeah. We're all spoiled.
We did Las Vegas finally, but we had to pay for it.
Did y'all like it?
Yeah, it was good. It was different.
Yeah, we should. Are you gonna do it this year? Oh, man.
It's a half marathon now.
Come on, let's all do it.
It's just a half now?
Yeah.
Just a half. Wow, see, that's how you know you're a true marathoner. Just a half. Yeah, February.
Maybe.
All right, there you go.
Let's look at Hawaii. I'd be open to that.
See, my new problem is that I have an F1 addiction. So like I've been paying a lot of money for F1 tickets.
Oh wow.
And so that's where my new problem is.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So are you going to like? Is F1? Isn't that more Europe also?
It is, but now they have 3 races in the States.
Is there one in Austin?
Yeah, Austin, Vegas, and Miami.
Okay, which ones have you?
Well, Vegas is new this year. I actually wanted to go, but then
I heard it's like $10,000.
No, they're charging people $550 to maybe not even see the track.
Yeah.
And
wow.
That's why I like going to Austin because like you're sitting in a crowd with people that love the same thing that you. And it's like running, like you're interacting with everybody and everybody's having a good time. So
F1, the reason why you got into it, was it through the Netflix series?
No,
it wasn't.
My brother, my little brother is so into cars or whatever, and like he used to post about it on Instagram. I'm like, what is this? And so like then I fell down the deep dive, and then started waking up early to watch the races, and then I was hooked after that. And
So, what makes it interesting? Is it the stories that they tell, or the racing itself?
Or is it the fancy cars? What is it, like the people?
I've not gotten into it. I tried to watch the Netflix series.
well, the
Watch,
Netflix
like, two of
series
them.
is going to. That's not real racing.
Uh-huh.
I mean, like that's how they try to get America into it. Okay, but
Okay.
like I just like the engineering behind it all. I mean, the fast cars. I don't. It's just there's like a whole feeling behind it. I know that's it's not for everybody. I just like the adrenaline behind it and everything. Like I wish that I could drive an F1 car. I don't know.
Isn't like Frankie Muniz? Does he do F1 racing, or he does another one?
No,
You're
it's
talking
it's
about
another one.
the actor?
Yeah,
Doesn't he do like?
he's a race car driver now.
Really?
Yeah,
The
he's
one
a-
from what is
I
that
don't-
other show he was on?
He
every-
does like he races the
Stewie?
Cadillacs, doesn't he? I think he does. I know that he had done MotoGP a couple of
Okay.
times, but I don't know. F1 it's fun.
Okay.
But
So we're talking about F1, and then this is something I kind of talked to Jeremy about because like I feel like the running industry is kind of getting kind of a little stale right now. But like, how do you get people to have that? Like, how do you feel about F1? How do you get people to like be interested about that? Like with like running or like watching marathons? Like, I don't think there's that same kind of vibe.
because it was there.
Yeah.
It was there,
Yeah.
and I just think that it became like too like mainstream. I think that's what it is. So like once it starts to fall off again, then I don't know. They did what they wanted to do. They like really commercialized the runners and did all that, and then the brands and all that hopped in, and really social media kind of ruined running,
You think
right?
so? Like can you is like what you said, like it's more for the pretty people? Is that what you kind of see it now?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the fast runners and
Yeah.
getting into Boston. Like, that's, you know, especially around that time, like, everybody's like, oh, I gotta be Hugh. And then everybody's talking about the races, Nick Bear or whatever,
Yeah.
him doing his whole running thing. Like, it's just, it's very commercialized now. And I don't know, like, the feeling now of going out to a race is not the same as what it was back in the, like, it was more like, community, and now it's more like for the Instagram. It's for the gram. Let me get my picture, and I don't know. That's just how I feel.
No, because
You
like
know?
I think that's what if you're noticing kind of these kind of trends. Like we're trying to figure it out. And when we went to the Running USA conference, like it's more about race directors, and you saw we were scholarship recipients. I think Martinez is like part of there, but we were the only race directors out of the group. The other people were more like influencers.
Yeah,
and we're like,
influencers.
shouldn't there be like
more race directors. Yeah,
of
we
color?
they could only find 2 race directors of colors, and they was from the same company. Us.
That's
The rest
kinda
were.
crazy.
sad.
Yeah, it's sad, right? Because like
That's sad.
yeah, it's sad. But like, I encourage you, because you're pretty much like you still run, right? Like you should go to TRE. You
I
see
run
me
all
gym-
the time.
Yeah, sure.
I don't run by myself.
But
Yeah, you should go to
you,
TRE.
you heard about it, right? Oh man, you get free shoes. they
Well,
have,
when
like,
I saw
party-
that y'all were there, I was like, man.
What you do is talk to RIDC, because they give scholarships to people all the time.
Okay.
We're trying to get one ourselves.
Yeah,
so.
they haven't. I think they get mad at me because I complain. I was like, why aren't we a scholarship recipient? We're people of color.
Well, that's persistence gets you a long
Yeah.
way, so keep doing it.
We're at TRE also, reminding of when Willie said, asking if you still run. I was at TRE, and I was at a booth, and I was talking to them. I was like, oh, are you a runner? I was like, I'm at a running event,
Oh.
convention. I run.
Oh, that's so see, but that's what social media does.
Yeah, they'll think that's why. Yeah, that's why we need more representation.
Yeah, so sign up for that. We could all kind of do, and they don't have like major brands there. Like it's insane. Like it's
you get so much free stuff, Angela.
Yeah.
Like you'll walk away with free shoes, free like.
You know, if I can go, then I'll go. Like,
message like the RIDC and then just like the
RIDC is a running
Industry Diversity Coalition.
Yeah.
They're trying to make running more diverse because like currently it's
It's
not.
not?
It's not.
They did make a change because at Terry the first year we went, Willie and I and maybe a couple of other people were the people of color, and then the next year there was more people of color there, so it was a little bit more diverse.
Yeah, that's how we met Martinez, right?
That's how we met Martinez. Yeah.
we go way back from our.
How far do you go back with Martinez?
I met him at a fit blogging convention. Fit blogging's not even a thing.
I remember when you used to go there.
It was.
Wasn't there like in Dallas one time
Yeah.
one year?
I
Or
think
you used to go everywhere.
we went in Austin. I think it was in Austin one time, and then Indianapolis
Yeah.
or whatever. But like, I remember the first year I went to that. That was my first time, and him and his group of friends, they were like the rock stars. So I was like, oh man, I'm never gonna be friends with them, you know, I'll never. And then the groups just started dwindling down and dwindling, and so like we became really good friends. And you know, he's a cool guy.
Yeah.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, I love
He's
what
very knowledgeable about what he does.
He's
so-
very business savvy.
Yeah.
We talked to him, and he talked to us about how to, do business stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
so he's very
You know,
business
he's a
savvy.
PhD, so he knows.
Oh, I didn't know he's a PhD. Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see that because like the way he like approaches things, it's like a
Yeah.
different level.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a PhD, so
Yeah.
he's very,
Oh, wow.
very.
Yeah, he's smart. He has his own app, and then he would tell me like before the event, like so what we do is like he has like this like he has his assistant actually that will like email like or message everyone who's part of the conference, say hey, I'm Martinez, and kind of like tailor it to each person. So instead, when he goes to the convention, people already know who he is, and they would come and talk to him instead of
Yeah.
him having to reach out to the people. And I was
I
like, that's
mean,
really
yeah,
cool.
he works really hard to get to where he is,
Yeah.
like because like how we're talking about how we're struggling and trying to pop off or whatever. Like he really
He did it.
pushed
Yeah.
it. He pushed it.
Yeah.
With the Three Bros Running Company, we've been trying to like be a different kind of like company where we're focusing on our content marketing. I think that's very important for any business. So, I feel like what you've done with like your brand, you have multiple brands, right?
I only have time for one.
Yeah, but you did. Like she had like a successful podcast, like, and it went really well with that too.
Yeah.
And then you have your blog, and then you had
Yeah.
We Beat That, and then I think you have what's your current
And
brand now?
it's Mom Works It Out.
Yeah,
Mom Works It Out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but like
so-
to be able to develop all those kind of things,
Yeah.
you knew what you're doing.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
what's something you think for us that you would kind of give us like some kind of like pointers to just kind of keep on
Well,
pushing
you have to be
that?
consistent, and here's the thing:
Okay.
you can only. First off, you can only do what you can do.
Yeah.
So you need to find that thing that you do and then do that well.
Okay.
And then you can start doing the other stuff.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it is, if you want to build your content, then like you need to find your TikTok or your
Yeah.
YouTube or whatever and stick with that. And then just plan it out.
Yeah.
Just plan it out and be consistent.
So you said like with your schedule, like because you have to put like be at this day every week. You're gonna release the content. Or is
I
it
mean
like-
that works better for yourself so that you can get into the habit of doing it.
Doing it, okay.
And then the algorithm will reward you
Oh, really?
eventually if you keep doing it.
So when you would say consistent, so like let's say every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I'm releasing content, right? And it's every week. You just keep doing that. That will be better instead of like, hey, releasing content Tuesday and then releasing content like Thursday or something like
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Don't go hard. Don't do 3 times a week though.
Okay, yeah.
Don't go because it's hard.
Yeah. So what was like for you? Because like me, at least I have my brother, and we just hired someone. Like, what's been good for you as a solo proprietorship?
Planning.
Planning.
Yeah, you have to like. I sit down at the beginning of every month. Now, do I always follow it? The past 2 months have been horrible.
Yeah.
So I'm not picture perfect here. But yeah, I have a calendar. I'll write it down. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm going to do it. I'll have the days that I'll go out and shoot it, write it, record it, whatever. And then that's it,
So do you think you could be an editor now for somebody?
Yeah.
You got it that good, yeah, right? Like we knew for so long
Yeah.
that we could be pretty good editors. I think so.
Yeah. A part of what I do, though, a lot of content that I even create, nobody ever sees it because I'll do it for Best Buy or I'll do it for Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever, So, like, I get a whole bunch of, like, nice stuff that I never ever pay for, but I'm creating content for them to use it wherever. Or I'll write blog posts for them and all that. And then I'll get paid for my blog posts and then I'll
Yeah.
get the stuff, too. And
You worked with Salada too. I remember I was
Yeah.
doing content for them too. That just like free salads every gift card. That was awesome when
Yeah, that
they
was
did.
nice. But then after that, they stopped it, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna write blog posts for them. And so like,
Oh really?
yeah, so I started doing that.
Okay.
I mean, it's just the whole.
So do you have an agent or anything, or is just
I
you?
used to.
Yeah. I remember I
But
talked to you back.
Yeah, I used to, but I wasn't doing. I stopped doing stuff consistently, and so
Uh-huh.
like paying them wasn't worth it. I kind of wish that I had it now, because I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Reach out to these people.
yeah.
I feel like right now, like social media is almost for the older people now. Like I feel like the younger group is not even on it anymore.
I saw the story on CNN like last week that they were talking about the grandfluencers.
Yeah, yeah.
The grandparents, like there's like grandparents of TikTok. They like have a content house and all this.
Wow.
What, for grandparents?
Yes,
Wow.
and then they there was this other lady. She was like, "Oh, I make all this money now because she teaches other people how to use TikTok, and like that's her brand."
I mean, that makes sense.
So, but it is. It's
That's
older
very valuable,
people.
yeah.
Like one of my favorite people to follow is Brunch with Babs. Like she gives like home entertaining advice and like, and she does like all these TikToks every single day, or like how to cook or do these things. And I was like, yeah, the old people are killing it now, you know. But like, I feel like we're kind of in that in between period because like people our age don't watch YouTube.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's the younger people
Or the
that
older people.
Or the older
Yeah, that's
people.
true.
And so, like, I think that's also another reason why it's hard for us to pop off because we're in this in
Yeah,
between
yeah,
group, you
yeah.
know, so it's
Yeah, we're in
frustrating
the
that-
group where it was just coming. I think you've been for like 10 years too.
Yeah.
In YouTube, and I remember I talked to somebody. They're like, "All you do is gotta create videos." Like, man, I have almost 2,000 videos on my
Yeah.
YouTube channel. It's not about creating
Yeah.
videos. Sometimes the algorithm just won't find you. I was like, either that or I don't make good stuff.
No.
But you know,
Right now, my most successful video is one where Willie and I did a Q&A about weight loss, and then my other one is an F1 video. That it's about to pop off again because it's almost time.
yeah.
Like that's the only reason
Become
I
an
get
F1
paid
YouTuber.
every week is because I posted one video about what I did at the F1 race in Austin.
Wow, it gets that many views.
Yeah, every time that it rolls back around, people go back and read it. My blog post pop off, like, and then I'll go out there to the race, and people will be like, "Are you Angela? Do you know how many pictures I took with people?" Like,
Wow.
really was laughing.
Wow.
'Cause, like, I'd be standing in line for my chicken sandwich, and they'll be like, "Oh, you're her," and I was like, "Yeah," you know.
So you're known for F1. That's crazy.
So now are you going to like have like a F1 channel or F1
Man,
focused content?
man, they'll be paying for your tickets to go to F1.
You go be in
Come on.
Paris or...
I actually somehow got on some F1 PR list or
Okay.
something. So, but here's the interesting thing. I think they're going to do a track run before the Austin one.
Ooh.
And then, so they were sending out all this stuff, and I was like, yes, I'd be down for that. So, I don't know.
Yeah, that
we'll
falls
see.
Where did they race? They raced in that one racetrack that we went.
Yeah, Circuit of America.
Yeah, Circuit of
That's
America.
the only F1 track built in America.
Oh, I didn't know.
So, like,
That's cool.
Oh wow, I ran it.
yeah.
But also, I feel like, you know, just getting you there as an influencer too, because I'm not sure how diverse like F1 viewership is. I feel like it's-
That's why I popped off though.
Yeah.
Because the people saw, I got so many comments about, oh, is it safe for black people to go out there?
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And so like they saw me and Willie out there having a good time.
Okay.
And then
That's good.
like the video popped off. And so, I mean,
You just never know what's gonna pop
Yeah.
off,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
but it's hard because like I want to make running content.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, but I don't run fast. So people aren't they're not
Yeah.
interested in that. They're not
Yeah.
interested in watching
Yeah.
me struggle through my 4-hour long run. No,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
The F1, you know, so is that a thing that you're gonna think of like pursuing? Because like
know.
people are taking pictures of you, that your content is doing well.
I just want people to like me for me.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
you know,
For everything that you do.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, well, like I remember when me and Mike did our own podcast. It was called Running Retro Maniacs, and we were just doing stuff like we were like enjoying. And then I did something about my dating life, just like okay, let's just talk about. I had my first date in a long time, and then that went well. So I was like, let me just do more content about like dating, right? You know, so it's
People
just-
would eat that up.
yeah. It's-
People, like, seriously. If you posted a video every week about that,
Your new date?
yeah.
you would be blowing up.
Yeah, the problem was that because like we would talk about it, but then I would talk about my dating thing, but then you know Michael's like married, like Mike's married, so it was just like
But-
it's more very one sided. But
It could still work.
yeah, it still worked, but then especially like, but you know, but it's kind of like what you said, like you know, I would want to talk about like the darker stuff. I wouldn't want to talk about anything else, but then you know, for some reason people care about like who I dated, so I ended up doing
See,
that.
but that's the hard thing
Yeah.
about putting yourself out here on social
Yeah.
media because then like you want to talk about running, right?
Yeah.
And then everybody else wants to be all up in your business all the
Yeah.
time, you know, and you're like, but I just want to be here
Yeah.
to talk about like all I want to talk about is running and
Yeah.
books, you know,
Yeah.
and then people are like, well, you never show your child or whatever, and I'm like, because this
Yeah,
is my
you want-
way
yeah.
to get away from her, you know, like
Yeah.
like she's not the center of it.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess maybe
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess it's like
People get so invested into what you're doing. That's the thing. So
I guess right. They just want to get more personal because like initially it's just like we want to talk about comic books, we want to talk about movies we're excited about, you know. Like I remember you told me about like Gossip Girl. You just talked about Gossip Girl. Did you guys get ever into like your personal lives too, or not really?
No.
Just Gossip Girl.
I think that as personal as we got was during that time my best friend who was doing it with me, she got pregnant.
Okay.
So like that's pretty much it. But I feel like that was a different time because people were really into the episodic TV. Like the show came on a Monday, my podcast was up on Tuesday, and then the people like really embraced us. Like the studio embraced us, and like I met one of my best friends is a director, you know, Norman Buckley, and so I met him through that, and he does like all these other fancy shows now, like NCIS Hawaii, and like he lives in Dallas, so like we go and see him often. So, I mean, everything's always ever been about connection. So,
So did you mentioned like you would go to a bunch of these conventions? Did that help you like with progress your career further, or not really?
No. As a person of color, I feel like that it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah,
like the advantages that other people have, just not gonna have them. You know, we're not. I mean, and it's the one thing that makes us different, right? And they always say, "Oh, you need to stand out and you need to have your own thing." But then that's also the one thing that's gonna hold us back. And I hate that's where we are right now in the world, because everyone seems to embrace everything, but it's not.
yeah, it's not reality. It's not what. It just doesn't happen if you're trying to make it.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's hard too. It's a very, very hard thing to handle.
All right, so let's get back to running.
Okay, yes.
So what is your next race? What's your next race?
I haven't signed up for anything.
Nothing. Angela's like us. Like we sign up for our races last minute.
Yeah.
Like we want to support the race directors as much as possible.
Exactly.
Pay as much as money as possible.
Yeah, I don't want.
But
The one I am going to sign up for the Dallas.
oh, my brother wants to do that too. The Dallas Marathon. That's like yeah.
I did it last year, and that was the first year, and I thought it was amazing. Like it was like really put together. Like the energy.
Isn't
was
that
there.
BMW?
Yeah. So like I did Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. With like on Friday night they have like a 1 mile race.
Oh wow! Okay.
And it was fun. And then like at the end they were like, okay, they give you a medal, and then they're like, oh, you can go on the VIP tent. So they had like all this food, and it was crazy. And I was like, oh, I like this.
See?
And then they gave us a jacket for running all 3 days, and it was.
That's nice. So how do you get that VIP, just from doing the 1 mile, or
Yeah, they were like, you cross the finish line, they handed you like a whole bag of stuff, and then they're like, oh, you can go eat the shrimp and crawfish and all this stuff in there.
Wow, shrimp and crawfish?
I mean, it was crazy. The food that was in this tent. That's how you know you're a runner, right?
I stuff that I like post race stuff. Like, hey, it impresses me.
No, it was amazing.
It's about that experience. Like, if you have a good experience, you'll come back, and she wants to come back.
I mean,
for sure.
I met so many. Like, the lady that was in line in front of me at the VIP tent, she was from Maryland, and she was like, every year I'm gonna fly down here to come do this race. And I was like, that says
we're
a
doing
lot.
it. My brother said he wants to do it because he has some friends that are gonna do the marathon. So now we're gonna do it.
It's expensive, but I think it's worth it. Like, I think I paid like $260 for it.
Is that
that's all 3 races?
Yeah.
That's still not bad for all 3
Not
races.
too bad. Not too bad.
Especially marathon.
Compared to a New York Marathon, that's a deal.
Exactly. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time. And I'm going to make Willie do it this year. So, like, that was probably one of the more post-COVID best races.
Okay, I'll look into it. I haven't done it in like a long time. 1 year I did like all Texas big races, and I did it, but that was like before I was BMW.
And look, they have the Ultra too, so you could do the Ultra.
No, it was great having Angela here and listening to her stories, and it's good to kind of catch up. We haven't seen her in a while, but great talking with you. Any last words, Jeremy?
Yeah, I haven't seen Angela forever. Like it feels like a long time.
We didn't have a complete conversation. I might need to come back.
Yeah, and we'll definitely talk some more after this too. And we loved having Angela here, and she's one of our good running friends. Good friends. Yeah. She had a birthday party for me at her house one time. But we enjoyed the conversation. Any last words from you to tell anybody?
No, thank y'all for having me. It's fun.
Yeah, any kind of like places that you want people to find you?
You can follow me on Instagram. It's Angela Gillis, and then I'll have links to everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Angela. And remember, we're Three Bros Running. We're trying to bring big city races to cities across Texas.
All right.
Thank you guys all so much for watching. And make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and follow us on whatever podcast platform you're listening to us on. And also make sure to sign up for our race at Nature's Labor Day 5K. And thank you to our sponsors, Home Furnishing and First Response Urgent Care. Catch you guys on the next episode.